Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Barcelona-Catalunya. We are here tonight for the 8 p.m. social race in WRC, the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix. My name is Jack. I'm your commentator once again today, bringing you the action from F1 League Racing's biggest league. We are very ready and very excited for what is prospected to be a brilliant 18 minutes of qualifying and then a wonderful, I don't know how many laps, but a wonderful X amount of laps of racing as the cars make their way out of the pit lane then to begin the first runs in qualifying. Welcome to everyone in the TikTok chat, in the Twitch chat. Welcome in Scooters. Great to see you, my friend. Very happy to have you here with us, joining us for the action tonight. We've got LM, or as we call him in the league, Luke M, on 120 FPS. Must have a good monitor, as Love Tyon giving us some donuts out of the pit lane. And Luke, very confident that he could take a pole position tonight, has apparently been watching some battery guides. So could we see him on pole? We've got Daniel Ricciardo in the TikTok chat. Very interesting. Welcome in, Daniel Ricciardo. Hope you're well, my friend. Saying, I asked for an invite for the Discord server and didn't reply. Do you know when I could receive one? To be honest, we have been incredibly busy with people messaging us about joining the league and getting involved, joining the races. So we do apologize if anyone hasn't heard back yet. Trust me, we will get back to you as quickly as possible. We've got quite a few people that have the login to the TikTok account and are trying to reply to people and get back to everyone. So after all of the racing tonight, I'm sure a lot of you will hear back from the owners and we will get you involved in the action. You can also go into the Twitch chat and type in !Discord and you will get the Discord link immediately. So if you want to get in right now and maybe get in with a chance of racing at 10 p.m. tonight, get in the Twitch chat, !Discord, and we will get you involved. CB, the first man to go on to a flying lap here at the Barcelona-Catalunya circuit, the second race we have now in Spain on the Formula 1 calendar. And I would probably argue the majority of fans, drivers, really everyone likes Barcelona-Catalunya a little bit more than Madrid. But Madrid, in its own right, very good circuit. We will have to see what it's like in real F1. Lena asking, is it no assists? No, it's not. You aren't allowed things like steering assist and braking assist, and things like pit assist and whatever. But in terms of things like ABS, traction control, all of your standard assists, you're allowed to use whatever you want. As CB comes through the final chicane then, and towards the line he will come through the final corner. Little bit of a lift off and a downshift for the Alpine. I'm sure in the final runs of qualifying that will be completely flat round that final corner. CB goes to the top then with a 14.4. But many drivers will try and take that particular honour away from him. Blake is the first man to try, and Blake is the first man to do so. A 1 minute 14.4 for Blake, as JD goes into third with a 16.1. Fabian Best now into P3 with a 1 minute 15.3. And the times will start tumbling in this qualifying session then, as everyone comes across the line to set their lap times. Love Tyon will be the next to cross the line for McLaren. Hasn't got any battery to use to the line, and it's a 16.7 for the McLaren driver. I believe next up is one of the Cadillacs, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, it doesn't seem like it. It might have been a Haas then that is coming around the final corner, and it was Executioner Same who has gone into P10. F1 Mikey Boy made his return to racing today. Had a very good showing in both races that we've held so far. Mikey to the top of the timesheets. A 1 minute 14.2 for F1 Mikey Boy, who is immediately displaced by Emma. A 1 minute 14.0 for the Williams driver. Now, will we see anyone dip into the 1 minute 13s tonight? I would not be surprised. Liam Wolf, currently in 21st, has not set a lap time yet. Neither has Ravas or NLG Monkey. Monkey will be the first to wipe that particular honour off their name. Round the final corner they come now. And goes P2. Great lap from the Audi. Lena asking, is it also equal performance? It most certainly is. We have one realistic performance division, and that's on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Besides that, every other division is equal performance, especially all of the social races. Daniel Ricciardo asking, what is the Twitch name? It is WRC Online League. I've just popped it in the TikTok chat for you, my friend. If anyone is looking to get in the league as quickly as possible, as it says on your screen, you can message WRC Online League on TikTok and we will send you the link that way. If you want to get in ASAP, jump in the Twitch chat, type in !Discord, and you will immediately get a link to join our server. Get yourself signed up, get yourself involved, and maybe, who knows, you will be fighting for a provisional pole in WRC. TTV Kian in the Twitch chat. How are we, Kian? I'm doing very well. Thank you, my friend. I hope you're having a wonderful evening, ready for some brilliant racing action here in WRC. It's currently Emma on provisional pole. Mihalik is coming towards the final sector now then. Sector 2 split. In the top right hand of your screen, it's a 52-6 middle sector split for the V-Carb driver. 18 drivers have set lap times so far. We still await Alfie, Not Brownie, and Rel Farrell. As here comes Mihalik then towards the final corner to set their first lap time of this session. And Mihalik goes into P15 with a 1 minute 15.5. Not Brownie is just about to set a lap. Oh no, just about to go on to a lap. It looks like Rel Farrell goes into P16 with a 1 minute 15.7 as Mr. Smith now to the top of the timesheets. I wondered, will we get into the 13s? Yes, we will. 1 minute 13.9 for Mr. Smith. And we have officially broken the 1 minute 14 barrier in this session. Gidge Sprive asking, when is Albon Lover going to race again? To be honest, that would be a question for him. I don't know if he's on the attendance for the 10 p.m. race later today, which you might be thinking, whoa, what do you mean? But we race 4 times a day in WRC at the minute, 4 p.m, 6 p.m, 8 p.m, and 10 p.m. So whoever is in the chat tonight, welcome. We've got 60 people in the TikTok chat. We've got 18 in the Twitch. Welcome in, everybody. We're here in qualifying for the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix as Mr. Smith invalidates, although that's only on his in-lap, so he won't be too miffed about that. As here comes Not Brownie YT to the final corner. The McLaren driver looking to beat his teammate. Rule number 1 of Formula 1, of course, beat your teammate. And Not Brownie does that by quite some margin. A 1 minute 14.4 for the McLaren driver. And he slots himself into P10. Blake is on his second lap of the session. We've got Mr. Smith coming into the pit lane. So we'll stick with the Aston Martin driver for now. Caden saying, I've been waiting for an invite, so I was wondering if you could send me one if I have you added. What is your EA name, Caden? Let me know. Although actually, saying that, we have got 22 people in the lobby, so no seats available at the moment. But make sure, if you are around, register your interest for the race at 10 p.m. It's Mr. Smith currently on provisional pole. Blake is going to look to try and challenge that. Needs about half a second of improvement, burning the battery towards the end of Sector 2. He's 3/10 up, so Blake definitely could be in the fight here. Final sector to go. I believe the shortest sector of them all to go. He might get a bit of dirty air from the Haas ahead, but shouldn't affect him too much as he comes now to the final corner. And Blake pushing on, looking for improvement. Currently in P7 with a 14.4. And Blake crosses the line, goes P5 with a 14.1. Lost a bit of time in the final sector. His execution, the same, I believe, is just going on to his latest lap, as is Emma. Emma currently sat in P2. And only about half a tenth off of pole or provisional pole position, should I say. Lena asking, is the 10 p.m. race also at Barcelona? It is not. It is not decided yet. Jack Crossley will be doing a spin wheel on stream to decide the track. So it could be any calendar, any race that is in the F1 25 game. As Alfie has gone into P2 with a 13.9. Emma invalidated their lap. NLG Monkey is now going on to his latest lap. Executioner Same is coming towards the end of Sector 2. And here comes Executioner Same, 2 and a bit tenths up through the middle part of the lap. Has the shortest sector of them all to go. And the Haas driver only needs 7 milliseconds of improvement to get into the top 4 and get themselves a chance at lining up on the second row of the grid. F1 Mikey Boy is on a lap as well. Here comes Executioner Same and goes to provisional pole position with a 1 minute 13.8. A beautiful lap from the Haas driver takes them to the top of the timesheets. However, there are still about 7 minutes left in this qualifying session. Plenty of chance for people to have the right of reply. But it's the early knockout blow for Executioner Same as NLG Monkey now comes around the final corner for Audi and snatches it away. The times are falling here in Barcelona-Catalunya. A 1 minute 13.6. Could we maybe get into the 1 minute 12s here with this sort of pace? It definitely looks like it. F1 Mikey Boy maybe getting a bit of dirty air towards the line. Goes into P2, 5 thousandths of a second off of NLG Monkey. I don't know if it's just this track's getting quicker or what's going on, but the drivers are turning up the heat here in sunny Spain. This is an epic session of qualifying. Seamoon asking, is this also the final quali? This is the one and only qualifying session. 18 minutes of qualifying. That is all we have. We've got 6 minutes and 10 seconds left. And the times really are falling in this session. Boko, currently sat in P9, looking to try and improve. Coming through the final sector, has actually backed out of their lap and will not continue. CB has gone into P7 with a 1 minute 14.1. And he will be on his in-lap now. Mr. Smith, currently in P4, will be looking to push on his next lap to try and get himself back to the top of the timesheets where he found himself after his first run. The Red Bull driver comes to the final corner then to begin his first lap. QZRT saying just gave 650 likes. Thank you very much to everyone in both the Twitch and in the TikTok that is supporting. We've got 91 of you in the TikTok. We've got 15 of you in the Twitch watching one of the best qualifying sessions that I've seen in WRC to date. So close at the front. So close in the mid pack. And ultimately, we could not call this if we tried. I will invite everyone, though, to try and drop a prediction in the chat. We've got maybe 2 more runs left of qualifying, only one for some. Who do we think is taking pole position, ladies and gentlemen? Give me some guesses here. We've got NLG Monkey on provisional pole. Mikey's in second. Same's in third. Mr. Smith's in fourth. Who's going to take it? We have got 8 separate teams in the top 8. Aston Martin, Alpine, Williams, Mercedes, Red Bull, Haas, Ferrari, and Audi. Who do we think will be at the top of the timesheets? Mr. Smith is hoping that it's going to be him, the Red Bull driver. To the final corner he now comes. Is he able to improve on his last lap time? It looks like it's quick. Mr. Smith across the line improves by a 1/10 of a second, but does not improve his position. Gets himself a little bit closer to that fight for provisional pole, but unfortunately for him, it doesn't look like that lap is going to be the one that will put him at the top of the timesheets. Rel Farrell has invalidated their lap. Love Tyon currently in 22nd, going on to their latest lap. 3 minutes and 55 seconds then left of qualifying here in WRC's 8 PM social race around Barcelona-Catalunya. Not Brownie YT, I believe, is also on an in-lap as well. So the track falls eerily quiet then as everyone gets back into their pit boxes and sets everything up. Do they need a bit more front wing, a little bit more tyre pressure? What tyres are they going to go on? Have they still got a fresh set to bolt onto their cars? Decide what their run plan's going to look like, then get out on track and give it absolutely everything. Blake is just coming to the final corner to begin what we can assume will be his final lap or his penultimate lap. in this qualifying session, has a 14-1. Once again, needs about half a second of improvement if he is to get to pole position. Looked a little bit choppy through turn 1. Had to have a few stabs at the wheel to try and get it turned in. As Blake drives to the end of sector 1 then, 32 milliseconds down through the first sector. So needs big improvement in the middle part of the lap and has backed out of this lap. Will have time to go for another one. 2.5 minutes left of this session as NLG Monkey, the first of the big hitters and the man currently on provisional pole, sets out on his final out lap of this session. Will only have time for one more lap in this session. And NLG Monkey only 5 thousandths of a second ahead of F1 Mikey Boy. Needs a bit of improvement to try and get himself a little bit of daylight. Noah in the TikTok chat saying, "Hi JP, hope you well. I should be back racing tomorrow after a couple of weeks." Welcome back, Noah. Great to see you, my friend. Currently leading the Formula 2 Championship at 8 p.m. on Fridays. And definitely quite clear in the championship, that is for sure, as a gaggle of cars comes out the pit lane. NLG Monkey going for 2 out laps, interestingly enough. F1 Mikey Boy, Executioner same, Mr. Smith and Alfie all deciding that one is better. We have seen the best of Emma in this session, still in the pit lane. Won't get a chance to do another lap in this qualifying session. So I believe the first of the big hitters to set that lap is going to be Executioner same. F1 Mikey Boy just in behind him. And look how close it is on the left-hand side of your screen. If you are new to WRC, make sure you are following both the Twitch and the TikTok. We are live 4 times a day, 7 days a week. You are never short of racing action here in WRC. And we are trying to get ourselves to 2,500 followers. Currently at 2.2k. Can we maybe hit 2.3 by the end of the night? I know our supporters are all very passionate. So come on, lads. What are we doing? Get yourself followed up. Get yourself in the Discord. Get yourself in the Twitch. And become part of the WRC family. Executioner same into turn 1 then on his final lap of this session. What an end to qualifying we have been given. So close between all of the drivers. Anyone could still take pole position as Executioner same to the end of sector 1. 96 milliseconds down. Nearly a 10th down in the first sector. And that is not what Executioner same will be wanting to see. Qualifying will be ending at any second. So this is the Haas driver's final run. Uphill we go and through the chicane as qualifying is now over. We've seen the best of Emma and King Fenrir. King Fenrir into 13th. Luke stays 12th. As Executioner same to the end of the middle sector. 24 milliseconds up. So needs a mighty final sector if he is to improve in this session. Jack Crossley coming in with the rose. Much appreciated, Jack. Welcome in. Really looking forward to your commentary at 10 o'clock. But before that, we have got the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix. Who's going to start from where? Executioner same cannot improve on his lap. So what of F1 Mikey Boy then? The league owner returning to form is he. He crosses the line. He can't improve. So it's all down then to NLG Monkey. May not need to improve, but may do anyway. Monkey comes to the line. He can't improve either. So what about Blake then? Doesn't look like Blake is on a lap. May actually be running out of fuel. We've got Boko coming around the final corner now to set their final lap time in this session. Jumps up to 9th place. I believe we've still got Love Ty on a lap as well. It most certainly looks like it. Although, now that we get on board with the McLaren, doesn't look like he's pushing on. So that is your qualifying over, ladies and gentlemen. What a qualifying that was. It's NLG Monkey on pole position by 5 thousandths of a second to F1 Mikey Boy. Executioner same will start 3rd with Mr. Smith joining him on the 2nd row. Alfie and Emma share 5th and 6th. It's CB in 7th with Blake in 8th. Boko 9th and Not Brownie rounding out the top 10. Well, you can't get a much closer battle for pole position than that. 5,000th of a second. Mikey saying that he was 2/10 up and got dirty air. So Mikey, if it's any consolation, you know you've got the pace in qualifying. It is a long old run down to turn 1 as well. I believe the second longest run to turn 1 on the calendar besides Mexico, which we had at 4 p.m. today. And I'm sure if it's that close in qualifying, we have got an absolutely brilliant race in front of us. Ladies and gentlemen, the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix is up next. Welcome back to the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix, ladies and gentlemen. It's formation lap time here for the drivers in sunny Spain. And as we saw in qualifying, very, very close, very, very competitive. In the race, I'm sure, going to be even better. NLG Monkey on pole position from F1 Mikey Boy in second place. Strategy-wise, looking very 50-50 between starting on the softs and starting on the mediums, as Noah sends a blow a kiss gift and says this gift is for you, JP. Well, thank you very much, Noah. I can assure you I caught it. Don't you worry. And thank you very much. As QZRT sends a wave firework. Thank you, everyone, for all the gifts on TikTok. Really do appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. All the support. Absolutely wonderful from all of you in the chat. 53 people in the TikTok, 15 in the Twitch. Daryl in the Twitch chat asking, how's the voice box, JP? It's getting there. It's okay for now, but after that qualifying session, if the race is as close as I think it's going to be, it may not be okay after this race, as Monkey and Mikey very close together. Executioner same, starting on the soft compound tyres. We can definitely expect a good start from them, as Noah coming in with the coffee gift as well. Thank you very much, Noah. I might need the hydration after this race, because I'm sure this is going to be absolutely quality. If you aren't following already, make sure you are. We're on the road to 2.3k followers on TikTok, so make sure you get in. Incubator saying, how come you don't do 100% races? Well, we don't at the moment, but with season 5 starting in about 3 weeks time, you never know, that could be a possibility. Get yourself in the Discord, my friend. !Discord in the chat. Get yourself involved. Maybe put that in the suggestions box, and we will see if we can get that to be a thing for you. There's all that's left to do then, as the drivers line up, is wait for the 5 red lights. Here we go then, the engines roar to life. 5 red lights ahead of the drivers. They were not held for long, and we can go racing. NLG Monkey obviously didn't expect the lights to be on for that short amount of time, and F1 Mikey Boy immediately capitalizing. But look at Mr. Smith down the inside. Into turn 1 we go. F1 Mikey Boy leads the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix. It's Mr. Smith in second place as NLG Monkey is out of the race, and I believe that may be a manual retirement for the Audi driver on track as Mikey continues to lead then. Mr. Smith and CB fighting away. Look at CB round the outside, moving up into second place on the soft compound tyres. What a start from the Alpine driver. Mr. Smith in third. We've got Alfie in fourth place. Blake is fifth with Not Brownie in sixth. Execution the same also with a pretty poor start, down in seventh place. JD is eighth with ARL Tobser and Liam Wolf scrapping away in the mid pack. It's going to be the V-Carb driver that gets his number as ARL looks down the inside, contact between them, and that gets the V-Carb all out of shape. But now the Williams are challenging Tobser as there's more contact between the Mercedes and the McLaren, and to the end of lap 1 we go then. F1 Mikey Boy leads the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix, and on the day where he returns to racing, looking to reinstate our usually scheduled programming with Mikey at the top of the field. CB though on the soft compound tyres looking to try and pressure him, and the soft compound tyres, I don't think they'll last long, but they'll be very quick, very quick for the opening phase of this race. And CB looking to try and make sure that he utilizes them as Blake and Mr. Smith do battle in the first sector. As we approach the second sector now, is Blake going to switch to the inside? Looks like he wanted to, just did not have the straight line speed to try and get through. As Mikey continues on then, CB still right underneath the Ferrari rear wing, and the prancing horse may need a few more legs to try and get away from the Alpine. The French outfit absolutely flying, and is he going to try and take the lead here in the middle sector? Has a look up the inside, decides it's not worth it here as CB settles in behind. Bit of gravel being kicked up as off the road goes Alfie, and through goes Mr. Smith into third place then. Alfie struggling with the rear end already. CB though looking planted. Look, pushing the Ferrari through the final corner. Mikey though with a great exit out of the final corner, sets the fastest lap of the race, but CB is gaining towards the rear end of the Ferrari. Just needed about 200 meters more of straight line, and he would have been thinking about making a move. Mr. Smith in third with Alfie in fourth place. Blake is fifth with Execution the same in sixth place. And what an opening phase of this Grand Prix we have had, as F1 Mikey Boy continues to lead. CB putting him under all sorts of pressure, but needs to try and make a move quickly on the soft compound tyres, as we've got a yellow flag in the middle of the pack, and that's Alfie that has gone round. We saw him struggling and off into the gravel at the end of the last lap. Well, Alfie struggling really more than we realised with the rear end of that Mercedes, and has been off the road and now down to 19th place in this race. The Mercedes driver really struggling as Mikey marches on. CB still within the overtake boost. We've got Mr. Smith in third after getting past the Mercedes driver. Blake still involved in this fight as well. One of the veterans of WRC has really come into his own in F1 League Racing recently, and he's trying to put some pressure on the Red Bull. JD picks up the first time penalty of this race, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, but Mikey looking very comfortable out in front and exactly back where he belongs. Yellow flag down the main straight, and that's Love Tyon that has been off. I don't know if he's been into the wall. I can't see any damage to the front wing. There isn't any damage as Alfie comes into the pit lane and retires from the race, and we've got a battle at the front of the field then between CB and F1 Mikey Boy. Mikey defending well and stays in the lead for the time being. As Noah saying, do you have Boko added? If you do, can you invite him back? I don't believe I do, to be completely honest, Noah. I'm sure that someone in the race will be able to invite him back as soon as possible, as CB still under pressure from Mr. Smith, as the soft compound tyres maybe pushing them a little too hard to try and get through on Mikey Boy. And ultimately, that may be punishing him. As we make our way towards the final corner then to begin lap 5 of 33 of the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix. And look at Mr. Smith right on the back of CB with much more battery than the Alpine as well. And the Red Bull pushing to try and get through as we make our way towards turn 1. Inside line is what the Red Bull's going to have, shooting down the inside. And Mr. Smith up into second place. CB really couldn't do anything about that, had ran out of battery. And in a straight line, these F126 cars without any battery, you might as well get an RC car out and try and drag race it. Not very quick at all, as Blake now looks to try and put CB under some pressure. CB switching back to the inside on Mr. Smith, not able to get the move done, but CB showing he is not happy with this and will still try and fight to get past for as long as he can. The Alpine driver pushing on, still in third in this race, but Blake still with him. We've got a train from the leader down to P6 at the moment. As Blake continues on, not Brownie right in behind Executioner Same, looking for the switchback here. Softs versus mediums. Have the softs started to go off round the outside. Looks at McLaren driver. Lovely move this would be if he can pull it off. A little bit of wheel banging as we go to the penultimate corner. Great move from Not Brownie to get up into 5th place, but may have used a little bit too much battery in pursuing that overtake, as here comes Executioner Same back down towards turn 1. Is he able to get the move redone? He's not. So Not Brownie will take that 5th place for the time being. Blake still running in 4th. CB still in 3rd. Out in front, Mikey back where he belongs in the lead of a WRC Grand Prix. We know how quick this man can be when he is dialed in, and he is showing that today. The Ferrari prancing along very, very nicely. We've got JD, who's just made his way past Rel Farrell, the prancing horse, evidently doing very well in this race, currently running 1st and 9th. Make that 1st and 10th as Farrell barges his way through on the Ferrari. Here comes the Ferrari back though. That's going to be very close to contact, and onto the rumble strips goes JD, and that's going to put the Cadillac duo under a little bit of duress to try and get through. Here comes Spud trying to overtake his teammate, trying to overtake the Ferrari as well. Round the outside he goes, very close to contact, and there is contact between the Ferrari and the Cadillac. Spud through into 10th place. Now look at Fabian on the inside of JD as F1 Mikey Boy sets the fastest lap of the race. Mihalik gets a 3-second time penalty. There's Spitball in the chat saying game sound should be on from what I can see, as Blake moves up into the final podium place. Let me just check Streamlabs. From what I can see, yeah, the game audio is being captured. It might just be a little bit quiet. I'm not sure. I can turn it up for you and see if that makes any difference. But all this battling between Blake and between CB has let Mikey and Mr. Smith put a 1.5 second gap out in front. The two leaders pushing on, and Mikey looks like he's using a bit of battery to try and drop Mr. Smith. At this moment in time, Mr. Smith using his battery though to stick with him, as Mikey saves a bit of the battery pack up as we make our way towards the main straight. And Mikey leading after 7 laps. We're about to move on to lap 8 of the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix. And look at the Red Bull right in behind the Ferrari in the slipstream. As we make our way, we move on to lap 8. And Mr. Smith is gaining on the Ferrari. Decides to stop using the battery though, interestingly enough. And he will stay out on this occasion in 2nd place. Mikey though, definitely under pressure as King Fenrir and Mihalik come into the pit lane to get rid of the soft compound tyres. So they went 7 laps on the Aston Martin and the V-Carb. They decide this is the best time to get rid of them. I wonder when we will see CB and Executioner Same into the pit lane. I wonder if this is maybe a 2-stop race for them. King Fenrir out on the mediums. I doubt he's going to take those tyres to the end of the race. Mihalik on the hards. tyre wear normally pretty bad around this Barcelona-Catalunya track. So I wouldn't be surprised if most people in this race are two-stopping. We saw the strategy wars in the 4 p.m. race at Mexico, and ultimately it was the two-stop that was much, much quicker. As Mr. Smith settles in behind Mikey, who dives into the pit lane after only 7 laps on the medium compound tyres. Interestingly enough, Executioner Same stays out, and the softs outlive the mediums. As Mastery Racing League saying, JP, I've disconnected. Can you add me? I don't believe I can I can add friends mid-race. Mastery, if you can add me, I can see if I can add you back, and if I can, then I can get you back in the lobby. I don't believe you can add friends during a race though, but give it a go. My EA is Jack Patient Comms. I'll put it in the TikTok chat for you, and hopefully we will be able to get you back in the race. As Mr. Smith now leads the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix. Mikey onto the hard compound tyres, out in 11th place, and a good time to pit for F1 Mikey boy, out in a lot of clean air as Ryan De Star and Ravas do battle. Audi versus Red Bull. Red Bull on the soft compound tyres, Ravas on the hards, little bit of wheel banging between them as we make our way up the hill. Ryan with a good move down the inside, as off the track though he goes and into the gravel, and that is immediately going to invite the Audi to go straight back through and up into 9th. Running a little bit wide. Executioner Same now comes into the pit lane as Mikey continues to gain on the 2 battling ahead. Won't be getting the overtake boost on this lap, but will be very close to it on the next as Ryan De Star now comes into the pit lane, as does Spud. As we already mentioned, Executioner Same also into the pit lane. That will gain Mikey a few more positions back. Now up into 8th, and has about a second and a half to try and gain to Not Brownie and Ravas. Ravas started on the hard compound tyres. It looks like the only man to start on the hard compound tyres as well. And then what is the difference going to be between 9 lap old hards and 1 lap old hards? We'll quickly add Not Brownie back again. Oh, can we add? Yes, we can add people back. Perfect. So we will quickly get Not Brownie back in the session as Mikey continues chasing after the Audi and the Ferrari. Try and get through and up into 6th place. We know that these two on very different strategies as the gaps start to open up a little bit. We've got Luke versus King Fenrir. 3 lap old mediums versus 2 lap old mediums. Very wide there for Luke, and that's going to allow Tobsa to try and go round the long way of the Haas car. Very, very close to contact, but they keep it clean. As down the inside now goes Tobsa. Inside line definitely favoured there. It's going to be Luke that will pick up the overtake boost, but I think Tobsa will get it because he was behind King Fenrir. As round the final corner, it's Luke that holds the position for the time being. As into the pits, we have Ravas and we have Fabian as Tobsa down the inside on the main straight. Easy move for the Mercedes man, and he gets back through up into 10th. Great little scrap evolving here as Mikey now up into 5th, has 5.1 seconds, and I wonder if Mr. Smith is maybe thinking about a 1-stop in this race. We've already had this strategy war today in WRC, and it looks like we're going to get another one of these big strategy call races. Blake currently runs in 2nd on the medium compound tyres. Is Tommy saying, you just added me, can you invite me? Yes, I most certainly can. Where are you on the friends list? We'll invite Not Brownie again. I don't believe he got back into the race. And Boko, we will get you back in as well. As Liam Wolf now comes into the pit lane. F1 Mikey boy with the fastest lap of the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix so far. We're about a third of the way through this race. Lap 12 of 33. And the Ferrari pushing on to try and reduce the deficit between himself and Mr. Smith. Out in front, the gap 4.4 seconds between the Red Bull and the Aston Martin. And Blake still giving it everything to try and maybe sneak into a podium position. Closest battle on track at the minute is between Fabian Best and Not Brownie, although Not Brownie still not in the session. Will be rejoining now though, as Tobser sets after King Fenrir. 6-lap old hards versus 4-lap old medium compound tyres. Can the Mercedes man try and push through to get by the Aston Martin? Aston Martin, I believe, powered by Mercedes engines. So we'll be equal in the deployment part. It's just about the corners and the strategy. There's F1 Mikey Boy now a second behind Rel Farrell. Farrell has not pitted yet in this race. Currently in third on the medium compound tyres. One of only 3 drivers to have not pitted in this race. Those being Farrell, Blake and Smith. And Mikey needs to try and get by as quickly as possible to avoid losing a big chunk of race time. Does not want to get held up behind the rear wing of the Williams. Is going to look to try and use some battery now and get through on the outside. Farrell is defending this though, and this is not what Mikey is going to want. As Mikey now looking towards the inside, not able to make a move here. And every single corner that passes where Mikey isn't through on the Williams, it's going to be hurting him. But around the outside, lovely move from Mikey. But Farrell is going to try and fight this back again. And this is really compromising Mikey's race now as he falls back down to 4th. Looks for the switchback on Farrell and finally gets the move done. But Farrell, with more battery and will have the overtake boost, may try something down the main straight. No, he's going to come into the pit lane, but really fighting away there with F1 Mikey Boy, and that will have cost Mikey time. Mikey will not be happy that that happened, but now has 13 seconds of clean air to try and push on into. The only issue is that CB and Execution are same on new medium compound tyres, the same laps as Mikey has done on the hards, they have done on the mediums. They're right behind him within the overtake boost of him. And this is not going to be as simple as Mikey wanted it to be. As that battling with Farrell has really allowed CB and Same to get back into this race and back into this fight with F1 Mikey Boy. They also on the softer Pirelli compound. So the Haas and the Alpine, while having their own little scrap, will also be trying to get onto the back of F1 Mikey Boy. The gap, about 8/10 between the Alpine and the Ferrari. The gap only 3/10 between the Haas and the Alpine. As we approach the final sector, Blake making his way into the pit lane. Mr. Smith still staying out in this race, and the gap between the Ferrari of Mikey and the Red Bull of Mr. Smith, of course, is dropping. And with every passing moment that it drops, it helps Mikey's race a hell of a lot. The gap, 19.6 seconds between the Ferrari and the Red Bull. And as I say, with every little tenth that Mr. Smith loses to F1 Mikey Boy and to CB and Execution the same, it's only going to harm the one-stop strategy that he is trying to make work here. The front left tyre always takes a beating around this track, and I can assure you the front left tyre on that Red Bull will be absolutely screaming to come into the pit lane. The team on the pit wall are asking him to come into the pit lane. You can see the little blue icon on the MFD next to the battery. That means they want him in this lap. Is he going to oblige though? Yes, he is. Takes the bollard with him, I believe, and really pushing on the pit lane entry as he slows down to 50 mile an hour, gets himself into the pit lane. F1 Mikey Boy just coming through the final sector with CB and Execution the same right behind him. Mr. Smith then coming out of the pit lane. And such is the pace of Mr. Smith, he is not going to drop many positions here at all. F1 Mikey Boy down the main straight to begin lap 16. retakes the lead of the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix. CB in second with Executioner Same in third. Mr. Smith out in fourth place and right behind this fight. And that is going to be absolutely crucial. We know that Mr. Smith will be trying to stay out to the end of this Grand Prix. We know F1 Mikey Boy will be coming in for another pit stop. Brand new hard compound tyres versus 6-lap old medium compound tyres. Smith's first target will be Executioner Same in the Haas. The question is, how long is it going to take for him to try and get by? Because Same is right in the slipstream and the overtake boost of CB, who is right behind F1 Mikey Boy. Boko comes into the pits and retires from the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix. Only 3 drivers we've lost so far, those being Boko, Alfie CM and NLG Monkey. As to the main straight we go then. F1 Mikey Boy is your leader. CB in second. Executioner Same in third. But it may be about to be Mr. Smith, because he's moving towards the inside line. The Red Bull driver with a little bit of a compromised entry though. An Executioner Same flies back round the outside and stays in third place. Mr. Smith tried the attack, but did not manage to get through. CB right on the rear wing of F1 Mikey Boy, who's having to go defensive. CB looking for the opportunity to try and make the overtake work, but it doesn't look like it's coming for him. At the moment, CB been trapped behind that Ferrari rear wing for the majority of this race, and I'm sure will want nothing more than to be ahead of the Ferrari man, but he's going to have to keep working and think of another way to try and get through as CB was wheel to wheel, and Executioner Same is round. I believe went into the back of the Alpine car, and Executioner Same now drops to fourth place and loses a massive chunk of time as well. We'll have Blake staring at him from 1.6 seconds behind. And the Haas's race really compromised as now Mr. Smith looking to challenge CB for second place. Down the inside he goes. Doesn't make the mistake he made while trying to overtake the Haas car last lap. And Mr. Smith moves through into second place in the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix. 2-lap old hards versus 9-lap old hards. Who's going to win this fight then? F1 Mikey Boy leading for the majority of this race. Mr. Smith on fresher compound tyres. We know trying to one-stop as well. So Mikey will just want to try and hold him up for as long as humanly possible. Mikey will want to go as deep into this stint as he can to try and get that tyre offset as big as possible. Lap 18 of 33, moving closer towards lap 19. Red Bull versus Ferrari versus Alpine. Mikey versus Smith versus CB. As we go to the main straight, and this is the first opportunity that Mr. Smith will have to try and get by the Ferrari. He's in the slipstream. He is gaining towards the back of the Scuderia. He's pulling towards the inside line as Mr. Smith into the braking zone we go. Is last of the late breakers and takes the lead here in Barcelona. The Red Bull absolutely flying. And Mr. Smith into the lead. But look at Mikey deploying the battery towards the infamous Hamilton and Rosberg corner. Mr. Smith holds the outside line. Mikey giving it everything with the battery power. Mr. Smith diving round the outside. But Mikey looks like he's going to hold the position. Mr. Smith burning the battery. Mikey retakes the lead here. Both of these drivers giving it absolutely everything to try and win this race. Mikey with stark defense. Here comes Mr. Smith once again in the middle sector, looking around the outside line. Is he able to get through? Doesn't look like it for the time being. Mikey stays ahead. These two putting on an absolute thriller, but what this has done has compromised Mikey as we get to the main straight. He has got nearly half of the battery that Mr. Smith has got. As out of the final corner that we go then to begin lap 20 of 33 of the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix, and you can see Mikey has ran out of battery. Here comes Mr. Smith then towards the inside line for the second lap running. Mikey breaks later and stays in the lead. And this battle, absolutely incredible between Mikey and Smith, as Mikey now under attack from the outside line, and Mr. Smith retakes the lead here in Barcelona. It is all kicking off as now, once again to the outside line, goes F1 Mikey boy, Mr. Smith on the inside, both of them using the battery. Who's going to come out on top? Round the outside, a very unorthodox place to make a move. Mikey giving it absolutely everything. Mr. Smith now back down the inside. Every corner, the position is changing. Now look at CB towards the inside of the Ferrari, taking advantage. Mikey round the outside, CB on the inside. This action not stopping wherever you look. Mikey manages to hold second place, but that's allowed Mr. Smith to get a little bit of a gap out in front as Mikey and CB both now diving into the pit lane, and that will leave Mr. Smith out in the lead of this race. Three drivers giving it absolutely everything. An astonishing battle between Mr. Smith, F1 Mikey boy, and CB. Wow, I am absolutely speechless after that fight, and it will still continue between Mikey and CB. Mr. Smith will now stay out as they come out of the pit lane. The gap to leader then, 21.5 seconds. That is the deficit that Mikey and CB will have to cut into. The only issue being Mr. Smith has only been on those tyres for 5 laps, and CB already looking to attack Mikey. And this is the issue as well. If these two keep fighting, they're only going to slow each other down. And that is going to really give Mr. Smith the edge here, as CB looking towards the inside line and taking the place away from F1 Mikey boy. CB up into 4th on the medium compound tyres. Now into 4th place. Will be chasing down the V-carb of Liam Wolf, who is kind of out of position here with the pit stops. Mr. Smith is your leader from Blake in 2nd place. Liam Wolf is 3rd with CB in 4th place. Mikey still trying to challenge him, but may have to wait for the pace to come back to him, as they're actually losing time to Mr. Smith because of this fighting. Mikey with more battery and with the overtake boost. Towards turn 1 we go again. Ferrari versus Alpine. Down the inside goes F1 Mikey boy and takes 4th place back again. This fight is absolutely incredible between Mikey and CB. You can also involve Mr. Smith in that conversation as well, as we've got a yellow flag. I can't see any cars stopped on track, so may have just been a little bit of a wide moment for one of the McLarens. I believe that was Love Tyon. As Mikey and CB continue on battling then. Bakalaka saying your voice will need a rest after this race. I can assure you it most certainly will. JF1 in the in the Twitch chat, sorry. Welcome in, Jay. Hope you are having a good evening, my friend. Blake is still in the conversation as well, if he is one stopping. That is the question. If Blake is staying on this hard compound tyre to the end of the Grand Prix, he is most certainly in the fight as well for a podium place. Mikey sets the fastest lap of the race then, of 15.3 for him. CB looking to challenge into turn 1, not able to get through at the moment. 21.6 seconds. The only issue and the worrying thing for Mikey and for CB is we've got a yellow flag, and that's Love Tyon, who is backwards at turn 1. Will continue on in this race. albeit down in 18th place and soon to be lapped, I would imagine, if he's not been already. It's Mr. Smith that continues to lead here in Barcelona. CB has got back ahead of F1 Mikey Boy and up into 3rd place now, as these two keep scrapping away and the gap really not falling to Mr. Smith. Thank you, everyone, for all the kind words about the commentary in the chat. I'm glad you're enjoying the action as much as I am. I am absolutely on the edge of my seat here. As CW in the chat saying CB's tyres are going to fall off before Smith with the fighting and mediums. I do agree. The medium tyres may not have been the best choice to go on in this race. As here comes F1 Mikey Boy back towards turn 1, back down the inside. Goes the Ferrari and takes 3rd place once again. And these two, they are starting to gain on Mr. Smith now. They just need to stop battling in the slower speed corners. And that is the only way that they're going to gain up. But we've got less than 10 laps to go in this race. And is there enough time for Mikey and CB to gain back the time that they're losing? Blake in 2nd place. Surely he has got to think he's got a great shot at 2nd place in this Grand Prix, which, no offense to Blake, I most certainly did not expect in this race. Lap 25 of 33 here in Barcelona. It's Mr. Smith that leads the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix. Blake in 2nd place with F1 Mikey Boy running in 3rd. CB is 4th with Executioner Same in 5th place. Rel Farrell is in 6th as we've got a yellow flag for one of the Ferraris. That is JD Will, who has had a moment. As we have just hit 20k likes on the TikTok. Thank you to everyone that has made that possible. A brilliant little like goal set by, I believe, QZRT. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for all the support on Twitch and on TikTok. There's WRC Online League saying Blake has the best engineer. I wonder who that could be. Definitely not Ollie Southall. Ollie Southall, you know, not a proven race winner. Don't know if he's even sat on the podium before in WRC. Doesn't sound like the greatest race engineer to me. It's Blake and Timmy on a brilliant job from Blake in 2nd place, has obviously adopted the one-stop strategy, or well, it seems like he has got the one-stop strategy on his mind. Isn't losing too much time to Mikey and to CB, who are still scrapping away. Executioner Same is also bringing himself back into this fight as well. And it looks like the fight between Mikey, CB and Executioner Same may just be the battle for the final podium place. The 2-stop was quicker in Mexico. It looks like the 1-stop may be quicker here in Spain. The Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix. We knew qualifying was close. We saw the gaps between the drivers. Look at CB around the outside of F1 Mikey Boy. Mikey placing that car exactly where it needs to be. And CB spins round, pushing the medium tyres as much as he possibly could. But CB just a little bit over the margin. Overdriving just by a margin. And CB now falls down to 5th place. Out of running for the podium. And that will leave Mikey and Executioner Same to scrap away for the final podium place. I would say it leaves Mikey to chase down Blake and Mr. Smith, but I don't think we've got enough time left in this Grand Prix for F1 Mikey Boy to gain that time back. Lap 27 of 33 of the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix. It's Mr. Smith that leads here in Spain. Blake running 2nd with F1 Mikey Boy in 3rd. Executioner Same is in 4th. 1.4 seconds off the back of F1 Mikey Boy. CB, after that spin on the last lap, in P5. Rel Farrell is in 6th place. Liam Wolf on the soft compound tyres, interestingly enough, running in 7th. ARL Tobza in 8th with King Fenrir in 9th and Luke M rounding off the top 10. And what a race this has been so far, ladies and gentlemen. We have still got about 5 laps to go of this event. And it has been absolutely incredible up and down the field. Mr. Smith comes around the final corner to begin lap 28. And what a performance this has been from the Red Bull driver. We've lost 4 people in this race. Love Tyon, Boko, Alfie, and pole sitter NLG Monkey. And that was a horrible start, wasn't it? I think we can all agree. From the Audi driver, the lights weren't on for long. The drivers weren't held for long. But NLG Monkey going absolutely nowhere off the start and falling way, way back down the order. Ultimately retiring as we've got another yellow flag. That was for the Audi of Ravas. Doesn't look like there's any damage to the front wing of that Audi car. Moore saying, saw this today and gave it a go. Don't regret it at all. Exactly. You know, I say it to everyone in the chat as often as possible. And, you know, of course I'm going to be a little bit biased. I'm one of the commentators that brings you this action. But WRC is easily one of the better leagues that I've seen in F1 League Racing. I've been racing myself for 8 years. I've been commentating for 5. I've been commentating full-time for 2 years. And this is 110% head and shoulders above most of the leagues that I have worked with, that I have raced in, that I've commentated for. The way it's ran, the admins, absolutely every aspect, even down to just the community. WRC is doing it right. Mr. Smith still leading them. We've got a yellow flag. I can't see what that's for. Ravas has got away completely fine. We've got JD who has gone into ghost mode. I don't know if that's because he is disconnected in this race as he takes the runoff at turn 1. Sam saying, comms, do you have to join a server or is it open? You do have to join a server. As you can see on your screen, message WRC Online League to get involved, or you can go in the Twitch chat and type in !Discord. WRC Online League saying, had a good insight to behind the scenes so you can see what goes into it and how much thought. Exactly that. Today, just before this race, we had a little staff meeting in WRC. I was kindly invited along to see what everyone was planning for Season 5, and it is so in-depth, you know, it's not just, oh, so we're an F1 league, you know, we'll have a division here, we'll have a division there, this person sets it up, and away we go. It is down to the stewarding team, the people that welcome new drivers, the people that get people in divisions, making the championships, full-time drivers, commentators, everything like that. It is such an in-depth process. And the people at WRC, the likes of F1 Mikey Boy, Ollie Southall, Blake, I'm sure I'm missing a lot of names there, Meloon, King Fenrir, who make this run in the way that it is ran. I honestly could not give them more of a shout out, because the intricacy that is used to run this league, it's not just your typical F1 racing league, and the amount of things that we have got coming, you know, the website with the rebrand, you will see the graphic after the stream, as AJ saying, is Mikey Boy still the owner of WRC? Yes, indeed he is. Currently running in 3rd is F1 Mikey Boy. But everything behind the scenes that makes the racing what it is and what you guys see on the TikTok and on the Twitch and on the YouTube as well, trust me, there is a lot of work that goes into this league, and it most certainly pays off with races that we see like today. It looks like Liam Wolf has had a bit of a moment and is losing his head here. Liam Wolf has no front wing. Is continuing on in this race, but again, looks like he's losing his head and has intentionally crashed himself into the wall. Our 5th retiree of the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix. We're very lucky that we are close to the end. Otherwise, that would have been a safety car, and that is not what we need. WRC Online League saying plan 12 weeks in advance. As you heard, exactly that. The new website for the rebrand, they've been working on that for about 3 months. And that has now been put forward. The rebrand has now been announced. As I say, you'll see the graphic after the stream, so stay up and stay with us if you don't know what I'm on about. WRC transitioning into a brand new league almost. It's the exact same WRC that you know and love, just with a different face on it. It's almost like, how can I put this? It's like your girlfriend that you love and adore getting a bit of plastic surgery. You still love and adore the woman, and she's just going to look a little bit better. What is there to complain about, ladies and gentlemen? I'm sure you will get what I'm saying here. I'm sure that was the greatest analogy you have ever heard. As we begin the penultimate lap of this race then, and Mr. Smith continuing to lead, Blake in second place. And I do want to give a massive shout out to Blake. A brilliant drive the Aston Martin driver has had, making the one-stop work. Only one of a few drivers to make the one-stop work. And Blake, as I said in qualifying, really coming into his own in Formula 1 machinery. Is obviously a Formula 2 world champion, but in Formula 1, he has been just improving so much in the last sort of 3 weeks that I've personally particularly seen. And Blake truly deserves this podium. And it's not just a podium, it's a P2 as well. And it is on pace and it is on strategy. He's not like had any luck go his way where someone's crashed out or someone's been taken out. Blake has done this by himself, and a brilliant drive from the Aston Martin driver to get himself into second place and to have the pace to keep F1 Mikey Boy at bay. But we begin the final lap in Barcelona and the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix. For most of this race, it looked like it was going F1 Mikey Boy's way, but the one-stop strategy for Mr. Smith working out, and the Red Bull driver pushing on, and just has about half of this infamous lap to complete before he can call himself the Grand Prix winner. Was very quick in qualifying, has had some great battles along the way with the likes of Mikey and CB and Executioner same, made the overtakes count, pulled the gaps when he needed to, put his foot down when he needed to, and for Mr. Smith, this is going to be a brilliant Grand Prix victory. Red Bull back to the top step of the podium. Mr. Smith giving it absolutely everything for what is going to be an incredible Grand Prix victory as he rounds the final corner to take the checkered flag. Mr. Smith wins the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix with an incredible one-stop strategy. And if you want to talk incredible one-stop strategies, congratulations to Aston Martin and Blake, who finished second in this race. What a drive from the Aston Martin. It's F1 Mikey Boy on the day that he returns to league racing, the league owner with P3 in this race. Executioner same, comes home for P4. CB will take P5 after his late race spin. And then it will be Rail Farrell that takes 6th place, also making the one-stop strategy work to get himself into the top 7. Brilliant stuff from Farrell. Tobser finishes 7th with King Fenrir coming home in 8th place. Luke M finishes 9th. It will be the Cadillac duo of Spud and Fabian that finish at 10th and 11th. It will then be Ravas that will come home in 12th place. Miholik in 13th. Not Brownie will be 14th with JD in 15th. Emma in 16th with Ryan, Liam, Love, Tyon, Boko, Alfie, and what is it? NLG Monkey, I believe. All failing to reach the flag. Thank you, Scooters, for the kind words, my friend. I do appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in with us tonight. What a Grand Prix that was. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What an event we have just seen. Qualifying pretty much as close as it can be. The Grand Prix, some incredible battles out on track, and it's Mr. Smith that wins the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix. Blake in second, with Mikey taking the fastest lap and the final podium position. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere though. We have still got one more race to bring you tonight. It will be the 10 p.m. social race hosted by Jack Crossley. Make sure you go and show him some support as well, as much support as you have shown me. My name's been Jack. I've been your commentator. Thank you all to everyone in the TikTok and in the Twitch for hanging out with me tonight and watching some brilliant racing action. I hope we will see you at 10 p.m. with Jack Crossley. But if not, until we see you next time, take care and ta-da.